Okay, it's Inos against Ten Hag in terms of targets and football matters at Manchester United, it would seem. We have second-rate options, which we do not want, as that has happened on previous seasons. I want to know today if you guys are happy if United move away from Branthwaite and end up taking the second-rate option. The second-rate option is rumoured to be Matthijs de Ligt. There are others. We'll get into that as well. We've got an update on Branthwaite and what's actually happening, where we're at with that right now, where the story has come from with de Ligt and why we're looking at him as well. Ten Hag changing all of the pre-season plans and commercial dealings and commitments for players being binned. He is going all in on this and getting everything absolutely made for pre-season. He wants everything done and dusted, apparently, according to sources, before everyone goes on tour transfer-wise. We can't see that, but Ten Hag has got his teeth in and got his way, it would seem, with the pre-season tour. We'll get into details on what's happening with the tour and how he has changed things up from last season, because let's not forget, every time, well, both seasons with Ten Hag, we've had crazy summers, crazy tours, and we've set off in the season absolutely shocking. We've had awful starts in both Ten Hag seasons, and I'm with Ten Hag on the fact that pre-season has been an absolute sham on both of his times. Both summers, both transfer windows. It's been a bleeding nightmare, and we haven't been prepared. So I'm going to get into details on what he's talking about there. But what I don't like about Ten Hag is his players, his eye for talent as such. It's just not going to work. And we're getting into Matthijs de Ligt first of all this morning. Jose Mourinho wants Victor Lindelof. There is a bid coming in imminent. We'll touch on that as well. It is all about the backline today, people. It's all on the defence and what Manchester United are up to and where we're at with the transfers. United won't hang around with Branthwaite either. I got more on that coming up in a second as well. But get your likes on the video, please, guys. Make sure you're subscribing to Forever United TV. I'm Adam. Welcome along, people. Get your comments in the chat. Happy Saturday. The Euros has started. The transfer window is open. The summer is in full swing right now. Quickly, though, we do need to just take a moment, and obviously with the Festival of Football, which is going on right now with the Euros and everything like that, I think we do have to remember that there are more important things going on, and that being the sad, tragic news, not just that came out earlier on today about Millwall goalkeeper dying at the age of 26, Matthijs Sarkic, who was playing international football last week. Condolences go out to him, but the horrible news about Kevin Campbell as well, just passing away, age 54, former Everton, Arsenal, West Brom, quite a few clubs. Brilliant guy. I have met Kevin Campbell. He is a stand-up guy, and I just want to send, obviously, all of our best wishes from Forever United TV to both Matthijs Kirkic and to Kevin Campbell's families. And what is Sarkic? Sorry, not Kirkic. It's Matthijs Sarkic, the goalkeeper at Millwall. What a sad day. What a way to set off the Euros and everything going on. Everyone talking and being upbeat about international football and whatnot. And then you just get slapped right back down to earth with news like that. That is horrible. Horrible news. Absolutely devastating about Kevin Campbell as well. Only taken ill last week, and then finding out today that he has passed away. It's sad. It really is. It's horrible. And I hate days like this, especially when it's good people like Kevin Campbell. I've done work with the Highbury crew on their channel, which Kevin Campbell is a part of as well. I know Sophie will be absolutely devastated on that channel as well with that sad news. But just wanted to say massive condolences to the Campbell family and the Sarkic family. They are bad bits of news, and it's worth just taking a moment, I think, and it's really important to remember people that made this game what it is and what they've done for the game, and giving them a moment back as well. So horrible news on that one. But guys, yeah, let's move on to what's actually happening with Manchester United right now. I wanted to talk about Matthijs de Ligt and why Erik ten Hag wants Matthijs de Ligt. Now, the obvious with the links with Matthijs de Ligt and Erik ten Hag come back from the Ajax days. Again, part of that so-called mega Ajax team, which got to the semi-finals and got tore a new one by Spurs in the semi-final. If you think that is a quality team, I'm not having a dig there either. But you look at the players that have come out of it. There's only really, in reality, in terms of the stars that were built up from that. So the ones that were made a big deal of were obviously Frenkie de Jong. He is the outstanding talent out of all of them. They had Matthijs de Ligt, and there was Donny van der Beek. They were part of the big names that were brought up from that team, and a big part of it. Now we've seen the demise of Donny van der Beek, who's fallen off completely at Manchester United, gone to the highest level. So Matthijs de Ligt, from Ajax to Juve to Bayern, making his 4th club now at the age that he is straight away a red flag for me. His speed, his injury record, the wages that he's on right now, it's a no, and I don't even know why Manchester United are looking into this deal at all. As you can see on the bottom of your screen there, it's like Florian Plettenberg has gone in on this story regarding Matthijs de Ligt and Manchester United looking into him. I just don't get why we would be. He's not, in terms of defenders around and defenders that could be available to Manchester United, anywhere near the top 5 for me in what we're looking at. And again, it just looks like this is a Ten Hag signing for me. It's got Ten Hag writ all over it, and that's what we need to move away from. Look, for anyone who thinks I'm just going double down on Ten Hag again on this, look, the proof is there in Ten Hag's record. Like, you can say what he's good at, you can argue what he's good at, but one thing that he's been proven to be wrong with is the players that he's brought through to Manchester United, especially the ones with that Dutch connection. And yeah, you can bring up Lisandro Martinez. That was a good signing, great. But the others you can really question. And we've spent a lot of money in trying to get these players in for Ten Hag. Now, the good thing is that we're not going to spend a lot of money getting Ten Hag players in. If it was the case that he was having a big say on the transfers, which I don't think it is. So worst case scenario, we're not going to get taken to the cleaners, are we? By anyone with Inos in charge. I think that's clear. So we can look at what the actual qualities are of the players. 42 million, and everyone talking about finances and how Manchester United afford these players. I want to move that aside and just concentrate on what the qualities of the players have. So why are we looking at him? Have we realistically been scouting Matthijs de Ligt? I don't think we have, because he doesn't play that much. He's not favourite, he's not first, or I would say he's... Where is he in terms of Bayern Munich's team right now? There's a reason why they bought Kim Min-jae into the squad. His injury record has been shocking at Bayern Munich, and for them to be wanting him out tells you everything you need to know. He's overpaid, overhyped, and I think, personally, and it is just my opinion, and I would love to get your thoughts on it, so get into the live chat right now, because obviously at the 10-minute mark we will be going to the chat again, guys, to get your thoughts on this. But I just look at him and I go, he's passed it already. The best has passed him by, and he's not been good enough to put up with it. And that's how I look at him. And then everything else on top of it, like the injury record, like we do not need to be going out buying a defender that has got a clear, horrendous injury record like Matthijs de Ligt has at the age he is, when we've had the record we have in our defence. He should be so far down the list of possibles for Manchester United to bring in that centre-back area that he's just a no-go. No-go at all. Like, there's no way that Manchester United should be looking at Matthijs de Ligt. There's not a chance in hell that Inos would even consider him, I don't think. I think this is all on Ten Hag. And it's up to Inos to just say, look, Eric, we understand you know the player. He was good for you at Ajax. And yes, on paper he looks like the outstanding candidate or whatever, but we've got better options for you. Here you go. I'm hoping that is the case. Because at Branthwaite, I tell you, Branthwaite's stock goes up and up and up. If you're trying to compare him or say that the second option would be Matthijs de Ligt, good God, like, I pray that we make Branthwaite actually happen. We need to make Branthwaite happen, because if the other options are the likes of de Ligt, then yeah, if it was Euro, I'm not too as much concerned. Like, Euro would be a good player to bring in, but like we've discussed, it does look like he might hang around for Real Madrid. I think that's where we're looking at with Matthijs. Not Matthijs de Ligt, with Euro. I think he will want Real Madrid, and I don't think United are going to hang around. They can make the offers. If Lille want them to take the offer, that's fine. But are you really going to want to bring in a player that's got his eyes elsewhere? I don't know. I really don't know. Please give the video a like, guys. We're smashing it already. Thank you. Already well on the way to that 100 mark, before the 10-minute mark as well. Keep them coming in. That is your target. Try and get up to 100 likes for that 10-minute mark. You got 1 minute, so good luck with that one. But mods, you can do your job. And everybody, please do get your comments in, because I'm coming to the chat in a minute now on this one. But to round up my thoughts on Matthijs de Ligt, it is a case of, look, you had your chance, you had your moments. You went to two big clubs after Ajax, after performing well there and taking Ajax to a semi-final in the Champions League. Juventus, it didn't happen. Bayern Munich, you've had 2 opportunities, so 2 big clubs have gone for you, and you haven't made it. Juventus didn't want you hanging around, and Bayern Munich now want to get rid of you. It's a worrying sign for me. Straight away, why do them clubs want Matthijs de Ligt out of their team? It makes total sense that United should be worrying about this. And at 42 million with the wages that he's on, and everything else involved, like I said, personally with his injuries and his form and his speed, man, the man turns like a barge in a dock. Like, honestly, he's not a Premier League player. I think the Premier League will expose Matthijs de Ligt. I think it will make him look like that second-rate defender. And I think, honestly, if you're looking at Matthijs de Ligt, I would keep Harry Maguire than go for Matthijs de Ligt. I would rather play Harry Maguire over him. I think he's a better player. I'm sorry, a lot of people will disagree with that, but that's my opinion. I think Harry Maguire is a better player for Man United than Matthijs de Ligt, honestly. And everyone knows I've had my issues with Harry Maguire. God knows, everyone has. But this is what I think we're buying. I think it is a huge mistake for Manchester United if we end up getting Matthijs de Ligt. I think it is a monumental error. And I don't think Inos are going to fall for it. I think if Branthwaite doesn't happen, we'll touch on that next, then we move across to the likes of Inacio, Yoro, players like this. I do not think that Man United would be drawn into matches. You only have to look at the big clubs, like I said. Straight away, that's a red flag for anyone like United. We don't want pass-me-downs. We don't want failures. I'm not saying Matthijs de Ligt is a big failure. I'm just saying, look, he's not made it at the highest level in 2 other major European leagues now. And them leagues are not in the same league, pardon the league punts, as Manchester United and the Premier League. It's too much. And I think he will sink. I think he will sink fast and be found out instantly by the speed of the Premier League. And you know what? I don't want to make it like a bit of a witch hunt against him or anything like that. I just need to make it clear that if United did go down this road, we would be wasting money. And that money needs to be spent on the exact player that we need, that we know can perform better. I would rather spend a little bit more on Branthwaite than go and spend less on de Ligt just to save the money. That's where I'm at with it. Guys, let's get your comments in. Let's see. First of all, we had a super chat in from our man Alien Tenno. The tit wants to keep off the donuts. You had to always load the tone, didn't you, Alien, eh? Cheers for your super, mate. Appreciate it. It's a negotiating tactic because he's similar to Branthwaite. The wage is enough of a red flag. Oh, Ed, honestly, that 300 grand a week, I think it's been reported that what is Bayern doing? Like, I didn't even know Bayern wanted to pay that amount of money to players. Where did they get that deal from? That they have done a full-on United Ed Wood moment there, haven't they, buying de Ligt from Juve. Juve have absolutely ripped him out there. Big time. John Lane says, morning, Adam. Is that what happens when you feed peanuts? You get monkeys. United are wasting the summer. All talk, no action. Well, action is actually happening, John. We can't say that's not. I mean, we have put a bid in for Gerald Branthwaite. So we know that is actually happening. So I think, well, if you look at it, Manchester United have made 3 bids officially. Well, from reports. We know about the Branthwaite one. We know we've also made a bid to Lille for Yoro. That's been confirmed by a lot of reports saying that United, Liverpool and PSG have all made approaches and offers to Lille. Apparently turned down again, like the Branthwaite one. Obviously Neves, we're hearing from the Portugal side of things and the Portugal record that we've made a bid for Neves, which has been turned down as well. So we've made approaches and we've tested the water already with a lot of players. So I think that's good that United have already made contact and made their intention clear. And now we know where we need to go with the money. And now it is down to negotiating, like people are saying in the chat there. It's all a negotiating game now. And really, what we're looking at is what Inos are made of now, because we're deep into negotiations with, obviously, all of these players. And I feel like United may just try and, you know what? I think they may try and sweeten. No, it's more in hope. It's more in hope, I would say. If Branthwaite and Everton and their ridiculous valuation for him don't budge, then United bin it and leave them to sink, and they push out onto Yoro. Like, try and sweeten that deal. Spend a bit more on an 18-year-old who is as good a quality right now. according to reports, that is, because I've seen more Branthwaite than I have Yoro. But what I have seen of Yoro is an accomplished player in Ligue 1. Ligue 1 is not the Premier League, though, and that's maybe why we're offering a little bit more and trying harder to get Branthwaite. I understand both arguments, I do. And again, I'll bring it back down. Like, we can argue each player's point, but until they turn up in that United shirt, walk out in front of 70,000 people with the expectation level of United being turned around at this pivotal time in Manchester United's history, we're not going to know if that player is good enough. We're not. Thanks for all the likes, guys. 105 already. Absolutely killing it. Mods, you legends. Keep it up. You're smashing it, guys. Thank you very much, everybody. Did we have a striker with bad knees, Danny? I'm not sure what we're talking about there, guys. But yeah, J United, it's hard to predict who will be good in the Prem as a modern footballer has changed the game so much. English football is very competitive now. Our current team is lazy and not fit enough. De Ligt didn't pull up trees in Italy either, said that, Leo. Definitely 100% with you on that one. Anthony says, stay well clear of De Ligt. Makes absolutely no sense at all. James, no chance of De Ligt. Wages crazy. Contract too long. Samir, it won't happen. This doesn't meet who they want. It's rubbish rumours. I trust Inos will say no to this deal, says Stu as well. Liam Whitehouse, I'd have taken De Ligt instead of Maguire a few years ago. That ship has sailed. Yeah, it's gone. He's had his chance and it's gone. I understand what everyone's saying in the chat there. I think we're all pretty much aligned with this in terms of our opinions on De Ligt. I don't think there's anybody so far. And guys, please do get in the chat. If you want to back De Ligt, I want to see the other side of it and give you reasons why you think he'll be a good defender for Manchester United, because I'm not seeing it and I'm not seeing anyone else convince me otherwise right now of it. Jack says, passed it already at the age of 24, got awarded best defender in Italy, Serie A, and best defender in Germany, Bundesliga, and we rate Branthwaite, who failed at PSV. Typical United. Jack, did he actually fail at PSV? He got raving reviews. How can you say he failed at PSV? That is poor, Jack. Come on. Like, passed it already at the age of 24 with De Ligt. Awarded best defender in Italy. Why has he been sold? Awarded best defender in the Bundesliga. Why is he being sold? They're the obvious ones. A loan from PSV is naturally someone coming back and then dealing with the season that he had with Everton and coming out of it with rave reviews. I think I'd look at that more as a positive. And the injury record, the wages, it all piles up against De Ligt. But Jack, thanks for the counter towards De Ligt there and saying that he is better than what people are saying. I don't think this is Erik Ten Hag. This is an assumption. No, Samir, I think it is Ten Hag. It's the link. Ten Hag has already said and recommended De Ligt to Manchester United. He does rate him because it's another player that he's worked with. We can't ignore that factor. That's what Ten Hag has always done. In 2 years of being at United, there's always been a link to him knowing the player rather than him trusting scouts and people who are recommending players to him for a certain position. It's what has happened. Like, we're only going off what his time at Manchester United has been. So, yeah. Christopher, I do, mate. Even more for going in a 35 million bid for Branthwaite. I'm happy with a 35 million bid, by the way, guys, for Branthwaite. It's been reported in the Mirror today as well on Branthwaite that Manchester United are fully preparing their second bid already. They're not going to hang around with letting this draw out. Like, they are pushing on it. I've had Everton fans comment and message me saying, pay the asking price or walk away. Apparently, Everton's finances aren't as bad as what's being reported for this financial year ending at the end of this month. So they don't, apparently, a lot of Everton fans saying, need the money or need to sell Branthwaite in June. They can wait it out. And if no one offers them what they want, then Branthwaite stays. Problem you've got now is, though, if you're an Everton fan, is that Branthwaite has already made his intentions clear and agreed to go to United. So he's turned his back on Everton in a little bit. He said yes to United. So now that that's been leaked out and we know about it, where are Everton fans with that? And where are Everton now knowing that they've got a player who isn't fully committed? And yes, he can say he's committed when he comes back and gets stuck right in. But realistically, in his head, he'll be thinking, right, I should have been at United this season. So now we'll see if the player hands in a transfer request or if we go down that line. I think that's important as well at this point, because if it gets to a stage where it's not happening and no bid's being accepted and Gerard Branthwaite and his agent start going down the road of handing transfer requests in, it goes to that next level of negotiations where the player and agent are taking over and trying to make this happen. It's not just United against Everton. Everton then have more of a problem in dealing with a player that doesn't want to be there. And the longer it draws on for Everton, I think the worse it gets. I think if this is going to happen and happen to Everton's liking, I feel like it happens in the next couple of weeks. Otherwise, I think United might bide their time and then let the normal process, which I just described, happen, which is the transfer goes to a level where the transfer request goes in from Branthwaite, and then Everton are dealing with a player which doesn't want to be there, and the price might come down then. United may take advantage of that. If you can't make it in the top two teams in leagues that are easier to play in than the Premiership, then it is 100% no for me. Huge red flag that on Matthijs de Ligt again. Akash, you has been a member for a month. Thank you very much, mate. Really appreciate your support. De Ligt is being used as a distraction to tell Everton to get a move on. De Ligt wages are too high for Manchester United to deal. I don't think United would even go near his wages. Like, if he wants to come to United in the first place, he's going to have to take a huge pay cut, a massive pay cut. So let's just see. I think Manchester United would prefer to bring in one of the other defenders if it isn't Branthwaite. I feel like it is going to be around the... they're going to push on the Inacio, the Euro, rather than De Ligt. I think that's where they're looking more. Everyone giving their best wishes to Kevin Campbell. Please keep bringing them in. Absolutely devastating news today about Kevin. Absolute legend and a gent of the old school Premier League years, I would say. And that is a shocker today to hear that news. We did make a bit of a point right at the start of the show, just to give our respects here on FUTV for Kevin and his family. Best wishes from everyone again, and keep them comments coming in, guys. As Sir Jim said, we need to find the next Mbappe. We should rather go find the next Branthwaite, but he'll end up paying 70 million because he's English. Again, everyone was moaning when we spent 60 odd on Højlund, 9 goals in Serie A. I just need to bring this up because everyone is going to jump on whatever price Manchester United pay for Branthwaite. Sometimes you pay a higher premium for a younger player. It all comes down to what research and recruitment is done. Does he fit the mould? What is his character? Have United done their due diligence? Like, have they looked into this player properly? We've all seen what he's done on TV, but what United should be doing is going even deeper and looking into the player's family, looking into his upbringing, looking into absolutely everything that he's all about. And you know what? Usually, a young lad coming through the academy, and Everton have got a fantastic academy. One of Alfie's mates, my son's mates, has been through that academy all the way from his primary school years. He's just been signed by Huddersfield now at the age of 16. And all his parents ever did was rave about Everton's academy and how they look after the players, how they look after the families. They do it properly at Everton. So anyone coming through Everton's academy, and we've seen it with Wayne Rooney. I'm not just going to use Wayne Rooney as the obvious example in that either, but you've got to look at what their development is of players, and you know that you're getting an all right player coming from Everton. You have to say that. Like, if he's come through that academy and the good players, and they do have a good reputation for it, Everton. Yet not all of them, and people will straight away come back at me and say, well, what about this player? What about that player? And I know there are a few that have fallen off, but this is what happens to these players once they move out of Everton. Let's not forget. All of them have gone a little bit AWire since moving away. So this is what I think Manchester United are also looking into. They're looking into everything that there is involved in it. And I think that's more important than anything. Let's get into a few more of your comments on this one. In terms of Manchester United's next bid, so 35's gone in. I want to ask the question to you guys. What do you think United's next bid will be? Do we think it's going to be a bigger one? Do you think they're going to stick to the guns and it maybe is like the £40 million mark? What do you think the next bid is going to be from Manchester United? I think in the heads, like the reports have said, United are going in at 50 million. I think that's That's their valuation of Branthwaite. I think they feel like they can get him for that price, and I think that's where we're going to be looking. I do. I think that's what Manchester United are going to be looking at. In their heads, they're not going to go above that at all. So, what do you guys think? Let me know what you see as a realistic sort of bid for Branthwaite. What's coming next? I want to move on to the news, as you can see going across the bottom of your screen there, how Manchester United start funding this, and there's a lot of talk about finances with Manchester United and everything. Jose Mourinho is looking to bring back Victor Lindelof into his squad. Now, obviously, we heard the news yesterday regarding Fenerbahce looking into Victor Lindelof, and I do think that there's a realistic chance that that could happen. Jose is going to, after going to Fenerbahce, he's going to demand for him going. He's already bigged himself up, Jose Mourinho, and my angle on this is that Jose feels like Fenerbahce owe him for going there. Like, he's already come out and said, like, more people are going to be watching the Turkish league because Jose Mourinho's at Fenerbahce. Like, he loves himself. He does, Jose, and he is pure media gold, he's box office, and he wants to make a splash. He wants backing, and I think he's gonna go in there and say, look, for this to work, I need players that I know. And obviously, Jose did bring Victor Lindelof into Manchester United. That goes to show how long Victor Lindelof has been at the football club, and too long he's been at the football club, more than anything. So, yeah, we're hearing that that is going to be an €8 million offer, which is way too low, according to Manchester United's sources. They're saying they want more. I think United have probably put Lindelof in at around the £15 million mark. I think that's too much, personally. If you're getting in around 10 million for Lindelof, you're snatching hands off and you're saying thank you very much, bye-bye Victor, thank you for your time, you was never good enough, and we move on. Thank you. And we put that money towards a Branthwaite, another player, anyone we possibly can. Any money we can bring in, straight into the kitty to try and sort Manchester United out in terms of what we need to spend this summer, realistically. Alien's in with a super chat. He says 55 million with add-ons for Branthwaite. Alien, do you think that's realistic? Are you happy with that? Are you looking at that with the reality head on and what your head says? Or is that what you think you would pay? Alex said 30 million plus Maguire. Please, both clubs for Branthwaite. A lot of people have said, like, can we not just offer a player to Everton as part of the deal? It depends what Everton want at the end of the day, doesn't it? They'd have to find a player at Manchester United that wasn't on a high wage, which is a job on its own. This is why you're finding a lot of Man United players are moving on right at the end of their contracts now, because other clubs feel like they can negotiate a price with their wages, because obviously them players would know that that contract's over. They're not going to get that amount of money anymore. We've already heard Martial's agent come out and say, look, we are not looking for big money for Martial in terms of wages. By the way, Martial, still no club, which goes to say a lot. Like, seriously, like, what's happening with United players? Like, every single player that leaves United right now, I think Martial will find a club, but it would be very strange if you had Martial, David De Gea, all these players that really, right now, honestly, we know De Gea is a good goalkeeper. I still can't understand why no one's took him. Like, Martial can do a job for someone if you let him play once a month. It just goes to show, doesn't it? Like, why? Why is no one going for these players? It's because everyone knows that they're money grabbers. Like, they won't move because of the money. They want more money. It's ridiculous. And here's me saying Lindelof won't be able to negotiate big wages, or anyone that we would want to throw in on a deal as a make weight, like we're talking about for Branthwaite, wouldn't have any leg to stand on, because they're going to be without a club anyway. So if the club actually bring someone forward and say, look, do you want to stay in the Premier League? Do you want to carry on playing in the Premier League? Yeah, your wages may be cut in half, but at the age you are, playing week in, week out in the Prem, still, don't have to move anywhere. Everton to United, the families are settled. I think it works well for a lot of players. And you know what? There'll be some interested in that sort of move, because there is a lot. Like, we always talk about what United need and what money we need and what wages we have to be paying the players. And everything like that. But what you also got to take into consideration is, what does the player and his personal life want? I think Harry Kane was talking about this once in an interview. And it's like, you look at what players do after their time has ended at Manchester United. Just using us as an example, but it works for every single Premier League player as well. Like, what fits for the player? Like, the players' demands come into it a lot more right now. It's not like the old days when Sir Alex Ferguson was pulling Ince off the golf course and sitting him in his car and saying, "We've sold you to Inter Milan, you're off." What's his family supposed to do at that point? I think there's a lot more welfare in terms of the player side of things right now, and that's taken into consideration. And if an opportunity came up for someone like a Lindelof or a Maguire, you don't have to move. You can stay where you are because both cities are quite close. You're still in the Prem. Everything moves on family-wise, just in a different football club. So there is a lot to be said for that as well, I think. And obviously why I think transfers take so long to get over the line now, because you cannot ignore the players' needs as well. A few people coming in with their bids and what they think. 48 million with add-ons, says Rav. Just bid 55 million for Branthwaite and walk away, says Balvinder. 30 million, says Paul. I'm not going anymore. Well, we're not going to bid that because we've already bid 35. Jose brought Victor here. Victor is awful. A level below the snail Maguire, says Gehern. I've been buzzing to get rid of Victor Lindelof, honestly. It always sounds like I'm being really harsh on him when I describe Victor Lindelof, but he's been a player at his football club that I think has been a big part of the problem. At the standards at this football club, like keeping Lindelof on for as long as we have, it's bordering on absolute lunacy. It's ridiculous. He's never been good enough. He has a few good games every season here and there, and that's it. This is why United don't progress. Last summer, there was some interest for Lindelof. Should have sold him earlier. Agreed. Almost at 150 likes, guys. Please give the video a like. 40 mil plus add-ons at an absolute push for Branthwaite. How much in add-ons, Louise? What do you reckon? Everton are already looking at a centre-back, so Branthwaite will be leaving. Alien's confident. He's confident. I like that, Alien, and you've not seen that in you for a while, mate. Make it happen, pal. With add-ons, no more than 55 million. There are plenty of fish in the sea, Ed. 100%, mate. Like, I said it yesterday. I'm actually looking forward to seeing if Everton stand firm. I would love to see the reaction of the United fan base when Inos walk away, because you can't complain. All we've ever done, like, the United fans don't like it either way. It's like, oh, look at that, we've given up. We can't get our number one target again. Oh, we've paid over the top money for an English defender. Which way do you want it to go? I would be absolutely delighted if United went in again with a realistic bid for Branthwaite. Everton rejected it and United walked away. There's someone else there. You don't need to get that. Like, Branthwaite's up there with a few other number ones, I think. And this is the beauty of the situation in this, where we're at now with Branthwaite, is that he's not the only one at his level right now. Beforehand, it would be like we had number one target. Going back to Lindelof's days, like United and Jose wanted Van Dijk, and the club got him Lindelof. So it's like that again, but I don't feel like the defenders that we're looking at are miles ahead of each other. You could pick and choose between them. Little bits that are better. Advantages for some than others, but realistically we're on the same level right now with all the defenders we're looking at. I feel it's the unknown. None of them have played at the highest level apart from De Ligt, which is why we're taking him off the table. Well, I am anyway. You can bring him in if you want, but yeah, like Inacio, Yoro, Branthwaite, players like this, I feel on the same sort of level, and Man United can just walk away. Like, they do not need to go all in on Gerard Branthwaite. And that's the beauty of this. And there is a big part of me that would love it if United just went, okay, see you later. And that just sets the tone. It sets the tone for United moving forward under Inos. It's like, we have our price. Sorry, we're not being taken to the cleaners. We're not Chelsea. We're not going to bid whatever you want. This is our valuation. You can keep him. I'd be absolutely buzzing if they did that with Gerard Branthwaite. I want the guy. Like I said, I like him. I think he is a good signing at the right price. Definitely happy that he comes to Manchester United. But I'm more interested in how Ineos act at United. It's not just a one transfer window thing with Ineos here. It's like we're not concentrating right now, I don't think, on this one window. There's a bigger picture in this, which is what Ineos do and what standards they set in this first window, because this has to carry on then through. Like Manchester City do it. They will bid on a player. It's like Cucurella. Bid. Maguire, bid. Keep going. No, that's our mark. We're out. Done. Move on. There's someone else. They've done it with loads of players. And this is the beauty. Like, do not expect Manchester United to be paying over the top for anyone. I really don't. It's like they just walk away. With Barada in charge, Dan Ashworth, the way that Ineos are running their finances, you just know, don't you? You just know. They want to create rather than purchase. And investment, 50 million of their own money into Manchester United's training ground. I think everyone's got to be happy with that. If we walk away from Gerard Branthwaite because he's too dear, I think everyone has to look at Ineos and go, well, I can't really complain about that. Some will, and some will look, well, we've let it go again. We've buckled again. We've not managed to get another deal over the line. I'd rather just walk away going, do you know what? It's not always that first target that matters. There's other people. It's like they've said, there's other fish in the sea. There's always someone else that we can go for. And it may not be the right time, the right move. I feel like the position we're in with Everton is a strong one. And I would go 70-30 in favour of getting Branthwaite in. But still, it could go the opposite way. And I've not got a problem with that. Get out of there. Maguire is better than De Ligt. I know the Manchester way. I'm not saying he is fully better, but for United right now, I would rather have Maguire in the team next season than De Ligt. That's all I'm saying. He knows it, and I just think we're wasting our money on De Ligt. We are. I'm putting everything together in that whole equation there, by the way. I'm not just saying he's a full and out better player than him. I just feel like Maguire right now for United is better than what bringing De Ligt in for United would be. So, yeah. He is, though. Like, I feel like it is a better, like, De Ligt, honestly, I think he will struggle in the Premier League. It'll be found out. And Maguire's injury record is miles better. In a sprint, I would love to see that race. Harry Maguire against Matthijs de Ligt. Where's your money going? Who wins the 100-metre sprint out of them two? I'd put the Benny Hill music on straight away and just tune in. Watch that one. That's a great clip right there. Keep your likes coming in, guys. We're almost at the 200 mark for a Saturday lunchtime. That is mega, people. Absolutely mega. Was anyone upset with Scotland losing last night? Whoa, they got taken to the cleaners, didn't they? Just so you guys know, in the description is your link to join me for the press conference this afternoon. The press conference. Geez, not the press conference. The watch-along. The Fantasy Mini League link is there in the chat, and so is the watch-along link for TIFO, a new platform which we're doing all of our watch-alongs from and covering the Euros all the way through with the big games. So tune in, 5 o'clock today. We are watching Croatia against Spain. That's the next game, and obviously we'll be watching England tomorrow as well, guys. So yes, we will still have a show on this afternoon if news is breaking as well on FUTV. So make sure you're tuned in and got your notifications, all plugged in. The last bit of news I wanted to talk about today was the fact that Ten Hag has got his teeth into Manchester United in terms of the pre-season tour. Completely agree with this. So it doesn't look like there's going to be many of the big names going out on tour if they're playing in the Euros or go late into the tournament. So there's some big players for Manchester United that probably won't even make the tour. You're looking at the ones that have got a real chance. So any of the England lads, so you're looking at, obviously, Luke Shaw, Kobbie Mainoo. I think you've got to look at the likes of Bruno Fernandes, Dalot as well at Portugal. They could go far. There's quite a few. And obviously, we've got a South American contingent as well, Copa America. So the pre-season tour, pretty much, as a spectacle, could be without a lot of Man United first-team players. Not great. But what Ten Hag has also put in, he's made sure that the commercial appointments for the players, the commercial commitments for the players are less. He wants more recovery time for the players on tour. Sorry about that, Jim, but you guys were smashes today. You've got to be disappointed in that. I do feel sorry for you, but I wanted Scotland to win, mate, honestly. I did, but you were taken to the cleaners big time. Back to the tour and what Erik ten Hag is doing. It's a case of, I've been there on the last 2 tours, and the players go through a lot. Honestly, guys, to be there in person and see what they go through, they don't play. They hardly train. Honestly, it's crap. It is a waste of time. In terms of preparation, I can see Ten Hag's issue with it. I really can. He's got a big problem there with Manchester United because it is a massive commitment and a big, big money spinner for United doing the tours. And every fan deserves to see the players, but that should just be open training sessions where the players are training and it is beneficial. Also, you should be getting as many players as you can out for the games, and fans deserve to watch the players play. But all of the sponsorship commitments, the different ones for like Adidas and other sponsors that are sponsoring the tour, they have to go out on these visits, do that, and it basically in what Ten Hag is saying is when the players should be resting, it shouldn't be going out on commercial duties, which a lot of them have to do, and they've all been involved in it. I've seen it. So he's cutting down on interviews, he's cutting down on one-on-ones with the media, he's cutting down on absolutely everything. He wants the players to be training, playing and resting. He wants full preparation for the team. And do you know what? Yes, I completely agree with Eric on this one. And that is that the players have never been ready at the start of a season. You only have to look at the first season for Ten Hag. Do we even have to go into it? Like, it took us 3 games to get going. And that was because we had to, because we were so shocking. We needed that adrenaline pump reaction game against Liverpool. And we played well and we got the win. And we moved on from there. And it looked pretty decent. So what you've got to look at there is next season after that, Wolves, shocking. Like, shocking. Like, we lost, 4 of our first 6 games of last season as well. It's unbelievable. We are never prepared and never ready to go. And other teams just seem to have it better than us. And I don't understand, because there are a lot of other big teams that do the same tours as what we do, and they look better prepared for it. It's an absolute joke. Anyway, Ten Hag has put a stop to it, and the club have agreed with him, which is good. And it proves that Inos' point about football matters being more important are actually at the forefront of their minds. So they have to follow through with that one, I think. And do you know what? I'm all for it. I'm happy that is the way. And hopefully we get a better start to the season, and we get a better prepared squad. Players fully rested. Because let's be honest, like, out of all of the players that we've got on these international tournaments, we have got a lot of first team players that are going to be ready to go. I mean, you look at Manchester United's team right now, and you go, who is going to be in pre-season training? You would go straight away, you've got Marcus Rashford, you've got Mason Mount, you've got Harry Maguire, you've got, did I say Aaron Wan-Bissaka then? I think I did, didn't I? You've got plenty of players there that are ready to go, needing to be playing and getting game time under the belt. So we have got quite a few first teamers that are going to be involved in pre-season. So, yeah, as many as we have got out there in the international tournaments that are going on, we've still got a good chunk ready that are going to be fully refreshed, ready to go for the start of the season as well. But, hey, that's where we're up to with all of the news. United's second option is behind Branthwaite, Matthijs de Ligt. I think we've made it quite clear here on FUTV that would be a bad move. Definitely don't agree with that. Victor Lindelof back to play with Jose Mourinho at Fenerbahce. Another bid is coming in imminently there. Obviously, Wan-Bissaka is attracting attention as well. We could be seeing a lot. Manchester United's second bid in for Branthwaite very, very soon as well. And Ten Hag has drawn a line under the commercial activities on pre-season tour. He thinks the players need more rest time, and Inos are backing our manager in that football comes first. And that's where we're going with that. But that is it, guys. Thank you so much. That's the Saturday lunchtime show all done. Thank you, everybody. Super Chats, members, the mods, cheers for that. Everyone who's contributed and been speaking through the live chat as well. Get your comments in if I didn't get back to you. I've got a bit of work to do this afternoon. I will be back on TFO this afternoon, guys. Drop in the description The link is there for the watch along this afternoon, everyone. So make sure that you get onto that and join me for the Spain versus Croatia game at 5 o'clock today. Log into TIFO there. Dead simple, straightforward. The new home for watch-alongs. You're going to love it, guys. The setup I've got is mint. All you guys that were watching last night's game, Scotland and Germany, I know you enjoyed it. It was good. And you get a chance to come on and have a chat with me as well, which is good. Which is what I want. I want to get more fan opinion. This is what this channel is all about. And we're spinning off into another platform as well alongside YouTube. So absolutely buzzing and loving what's happening with that at the moment. But yeah, guys, that is us all finished. Thank you, everybody involved. I will see you all later this afternoon here on YouTube as well. It may be a late show with us doing the watch along with the Spain and Croatia game. So I'll keep you all posted with that and let you know what's actually happening there. And then we'll take it from there, everyone. So have a good afternoon. Enjoy the football. And I'll see you